All hail Godzilla! What's up, YouTubers of the world? Mega Geek Mixer here to finally give you guys my spoiler review of Godzilla, King of the Monsters! So guys, this is going to be a spoiler discussion, and in case y'all haven't seen it yet, do not watch this video. Go check out my non-spoiler video. But I'm going to be basically talking about things I liked about the movie in further detail, and what I think might be coming for us in the future of the MonsterVerse, because this actually does set up some things they could possibly make with other films they could make in the MonsterVerse. So let's get right into it. Why don't we go ahead and start off with what most people probably go to Godzilla, King of the Monsters to see, and that was the monster battle. And trust me guys, we had plenty of that. We had plenty of Godzilla, because that's the one thing that we didn't get in 2014. And trust me guys, it was great. It was worth it. You got your main ones, Godzilla and King Ghidorah, but you also have Rodan versus King Ghidorah, Rodan versus Mothra. True spectacular battle between them. It really brought back memories of them as they fought in Ghidra, the three-headed monster. Now, really though, Rodan was really on Ghidorah's side at first, because the truth of the matter is, in this film, well, with Godzilla and King Ghidorah's rivalry, well, it's still pretty much the same, just like it's always been in the G franchise. And this one, it's battle for the title of King of the Monsters! And trust me guys, it was a true battle, mostly in part because Ghidorah, he's an alien, just like in the original Showa era. He's an alien in this film, and he came to this world to be the new king. He wants to take that title away from Godzilla and reign supreme over the planet. And trust me, what he does is pure insanity. It makes you think why he was probably worthy of challenging Godzilla for rivalry of King of the Monsters. I mean, seriously. You're an extraterrestrial. You're able to survive the oxygen destroyer. Yeah, we got a little Easter egg to the oxygen destroyer, as the military used it to shoot at him and Godzilla while they were fighting in the water, but it didn't work because he's an alien. He can breathe. He don't need oxygen to breathe. And in the fact that Godzilla actually chopped off one of his heads early in the film, but then it regrew back. And when that happened, it just made me remember and thinking of how Ghidorah was first brought to us when he was first created. Because when he was first created, it was taken off reference from the mythology of Japanese and Greek mythology of Hydra and Yamatama Narochi. And trust me guys, it was a true Easter egg. And some of y'all who probably didn't get what the whole purpose behind that growing its head back thing was, well, there you go. Yeah, and now I'm pretty sure now that y'all know that, y'all could probably think to yourself, that actually makes sense. That actually makes sense where the reference of when King Ghidorah was created came from. And trust me guys, it is amazing. But also, back onto the topic of the title for King. So with him surviving and Godzilla not surviving the oxygen destroyer, or more of having to retreat, he became the supreme king of the Titans, because there's more than those 4 Titans in there. There's 17 of them, and we get to see a few cameo glimpses of them here and there. Like, there was even a cameo of another Muto. There was another Muto out there, and then there was this looked like a gorilla, a mammoth thing. It really looked interesting. To be honest, I really wish we could have got at least a preview fight of those guys, but then again, they were all under the command of King Ghidorah. Even Rodan. You see, at first, Rodan and King Ghidorah were fighting, which happened in the way I always wanted it to happen, and that was fighting in the air. And it was a great battle to see those two fighting in the air. Truly a sweet thing. Now, but eventually Ghidorah would win, and then Rodan would see who his king is, bowing to Ghidorah, and then doing his bidding, which led him to fight Mothra. Mothra being the only one who was really fighting along on Godzilla's side. and the battle right there was pretty interesting to say the least. But it was more focused on King Ghidorah and Godzilla, so it didn't get as much attention. But when it got his attention, it didn't fail. It didn't fail too badly. I do admit, though, on the spot of when as a fan of Rodan being my third favorite monster, when you include Godzilla, I was hoping we could get more of them. But still, what we got with them in general, especially before fighting Ghidorah, doing chasing those planes and everything, was truly a great thing to see. Was more like a modern day version of Rodan from his 1956 film, and it was great to see him fighting those planes of the military before fighting Ghidorah. Yeah, I loved it. And then, if anything, I'm glad that he's still around. What makes me want to think that maybe, if possible, could there possibly be a chance we could have a solo Rodan film in the future? I mean, sure, we've only had that one time, and he may not. I don't know how popular he is in America. I know he's very popular in Japan, but I really hope that maybe sometime down the road we could get that. I really would like that. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even go so far to say that King Ghidorah could even have his own film. Now, we already know Mothra can have her own film. We've seen it back in the Heisei era of Toho films. So there's no argument right there. But I truly think King Ghidorah and Rodan could survive in their own two films as well, especially King Ghidorah. But another thing about King Ghidorah here that I really liked about that they really it's really used here that Toho never used was the distinct personalities of each of the heads. Now, you know, the middle being the leader of them all, while the other two have mindsets of their own, and showing here how, like, sometimes the middle one's got to be the one to get these two back up on track. And then there was the fact that at the ending of the film, the served head of King Ghidorah that just chopped off earlier in the film was bought by the human antagonist, Alan Jonah. And this makes me think and what it could mean for, as he bought that from some fishermen who took it, and that makes you think, what could he use this served head for later on down the line? You see, here's the thing with him buying that served head, there's a whole possibilities of what he could do, because Alan being the human antagonist of the film, but he tried to get these monsters to pretty much destroy humanity so he could, as he say, redo humanity, since he thinks humanity's destroying the world or something, somewhere along those lines. They didn't really give too much detail into it. That's one of the things that I will agree with critics on when it comes to that human plot, but I'll get into that here in a minute. But it makes you wonder, could he use this thing to probably make his own kaiju, such as Mecha King Ghidorah? Or in messing with this, does he call upon some things that he probably didn't intend to that will annihilate everything? Because let's see, like, who knows? Maybe another Ghidorah much more powerful than the Ghidorah we know? Possibly. Or even so, let's think that he probably even had interest in that oxygen destroyer weapon that was used earlier in the film, and how, like, it destroyed marine life, and he could probably have gotten some tests from it by looking at the footage of when it exploded, and probably thinking, use that along with Ghidorah to create something much better, something bigger, stronger, that he thinks he'll control. Is this me trying to say that Destroyer will show up? Not necessarily, because you could always even maybe create your own original monster. I mean, I would definitely love it if, say, here in America, these guys would find their own unique original monster to make for the MonsterVerse that would be an opponent for Godzilla in future films, because I truly would love to see that. But what else but there's still other tribal possibilities to go on with it. But while we're also going into that, why don't we talk about some setups that are leading into Godzilla vs. Kong? Because this is where it is really gonna be interesting, because we were given all sorts of Easter eggs and hints and foreshadowings for that film. It was truly awesome to see here, because at the ending of the credits, do you see all these things, like, you get newspapers saying that the Titans are heading to Skull Island. Because here's the thing, Kong, out of all the Titans, Kong didn't show up when Ghidorah called upon the Titans, but And even when after Ghidorah was finished and Godzilla got his title back as King of the Monsters, he still didn't show up. This is all maybe a good foreshadowing as to why Godzilla and Kong are fighting. It really wants to show who can be the true king of these titans, because some of these titans that are venturing out into sea, into Skull Island, could be a sign to Godzilla saying that some of these monsters, titans, don't think he could be the real king, and think that Kong is a worthy opponent to take that title. And that's what could possibly lead into those two fighting. Now, is this saying Godzilla is going to venture into Skull Island, or is Kong going to leave Skull Island? Well, from the looks of things, it looks more like Godzilla will venture into Skull Island. He will venture in there, and it'll be kind of like, what's the big idea? Why are you stealing my title? And Kong will be like, if they want me as a king, I'm not gonna object. Something like that. I don't know. But one thing's for certain is that these two monsters here, Kong, who existed before Godzilla, and Godzilla, who was often an inspiration of reference to make him, for him to be created in the before, and now these two titans clash after that first clash back in the 1960s. It's truly going to be something, and maybe we have already found our first reasoning as to why it will happen. It truly will make you believe that that is the truth. As a matter of fact, now, if you guys know Kong, he's more benevolent than Godzilla. Now, Godzilla in this film, he is working with humanity, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's like King Kong. He's like that benevolent, just like King Kong, because he's really not. Like, he only works with the humans out of necessity. Now Kong, he distinguishes between friend and foe alike, as you saw in Skull Island, when he saw that Packard being his enemy, while there were some of those other humans, such as Bridget, or no, Weaver. I was saying her name by, Weaver. He saw her and the rest of the group as an ally, while Packard as the enemies. Whereas Godzilla just looked as humans all the same, and like saying, if none of these guys will get in my way, fine. If these guys want to help, as long as they don't get in my way, okay, just stay out of my way. It was kind of like that, because even if, let's say, they get in his way, he won't hesitate to stomp on them to get to his opponent, because he's all in focus on that, as he's guardian of the earth, while Kong is just guardian of Skull Island. There could be another thing. Godzilla, being like the one who keeps balance in nature on the planet, might feel that why should Kong be titled for king when he only watches out for that island? There's another good reasoning right there. And what's more to know is that even though right now this is all we know of what's happening in the MonsterVerse, like I said, this could still lead into more movies going forward, because what could we see in Godzilla vs. Kong that could lead into more movies to come? We might get even more Easter eggs or foreshadowings of it. And speaking of Easter eggs, we truly got a few Easter eggs here and there in Godzilla King of the Monsters. First off, when Mothra appeared in its adult form, you got this one scientist who was playing two characters, and were both actually twins. One's at Mothra when she's there, one's with us throughout the whole movie, and she had a family tree of always having twins. And when she showed us a book, we saw Infant Island on there. And then there's the fact that her music was playing when Mothra showed up in her adult form. Also, we all had an Easter egg moment of destroy all monsters on someone's symbol, when at the beginning of the film, citizens were debating on pressuring the government on saying they need to destroy these titans since they now know they're out there. Well, that's where Monarch is, and Monarch, after this film, they are now opening all their stuff to the public on these titans, meaning they're gonna know about Kong and everything. So no doubt we might have a little more interaction here and there of the world if they know about Kong and Godzilla once they start fighting. Because one thing's for certain is that some of the cast that we had in Godzilla King of the Monsters, we have we are going to have in Kong and Godzilla versus Kong. That being Mark Russell and Madison Russell. And Emma Russell, who was also in this film, she died in the film. But speaking of which, why don't we just go ahead and go into that? Emma right there, I don't know what was going on with that woman, because seriously, I mean, she and Andrew lost their son, and I can get that, but how she was going through it was just crazy here. I mean, seriously, lady, you think that by using this device that can make these monsters follow you and listen to you, you think that by doing that and releasing them simultaneously, you're going to be able to recreate the world to where it's going to bring back life, and this will make humans and monsters coexist, when in reality, that's not what it is, especially when Ghidorah showed up and just destroyed all that. Lady, I don't know what you were thinking, and I don't even know why you would even trust that terrorist, Alan Jonah, who kidnapped you, because that's truly what happened, and I don't know what she was thinking when she did that. It was crazy. It was just didn't make sense there. But while I will say for Mark Russell, because he was a breakout star along with another one, Dr. Serizawa, in this film. Now, Mark Russell, he was the exact opposite of his wife. With the loss of his son, Andrew, he blamed Godzilla and all other titans and wanted them all dead, especially Godzilla. But he wasn't like insane of saying like, I got my chance, shoot him down. He was still level-headed enough to know that only kill them if you know you can kill them. Don't just jump in there right away and thinking you've got this all in your hands, because you don't, and who else will be there to stop them? But it was Serizawa who was teaching him how even if Godzilla's not exactly purely good and purely on our side, he's still guardian of the earth, meaning he's somewhat on our side here. So why should we worry about... So why should we be killing him when he's our possible chance at it? And that is definitely shown when after Godzilla got hit by the oxygen destroyer, and it was presumably thought he was dead when he wasn't, then the humanity realized that they just killed their best shot of killing King Ghidorah. And it was there that Mark started to realize how important Godzilla is and why he shouldn't be killed. And what's even more so, what really hit home was when they found Godzilla inside the hollow earth. You see, that's a theory that was given back to us on Skull Island, and this time we're actually seeing it. We're actually seeing the throne where civilization in the hollow earth worshiped Godzilla as the god, and he was staying there so he could regenerate himself after the oxygen destroyer, but it would take too long, so Dr. Serizawa, with all the journeys that he and Godzilla have been through, him following him for all this time, he should help him by giving off a nuclear warhead that would wake him up, which it did, and in the process, we lost Serizawa too. And let me just say, was a great sacrifice, and too bad though we weren't given so much of Serizawa that his death didn't mean as much. I mean, it still felt symbolic and sympathetic for some parts of it, but not too much of it. But either way, what I can say is it was a great send-off for him, either way you look at it. And then it's what led into Godzilla getting that power-up of his famous nuclear pulse, which is mostly famous back in the Heisei era. Energy from inside of him and explodes it like a shockwave. Well, let me just say how he uses it on King Ghidorah in this one. True amazing effects on that end. The pulse used like a few times, and then the last time used almost like a nuclear explosion just to vaporize that monster all to pieces was truly insane, and I do mean insane. But definitely, guys, also the special effects used for it all this time was definitely something to see. I especially loved it when Ghidorah would absorb electricity and then let it all out, almost like his own version of a nuclear pulse. It was completely insane. It was almost like saying like he's absorbing this energy and then he's gonna be like, I don't know, like I guess you could just call it an atom bomb, like BAM! Because I don't know what the best word would be used for it, so I'm just going to go off it with that. And that is seriously, my friends, what could really go for something of a new attack for King Ghidorah that's very devastating in and of itself. I mean, he's the rival to Godzilla. If Godzilla's got a pulse move, shouldn't he have something similar to that? Because damn it, he did, and it was truly something to see. And also, let me give a comment out on the facts on how the special effects look in this film with Godzilla's breath. It looked truly like a flame, but a beam at the same time. Whereas in 2014, it looks like they didn't put, like they tried to put some effort in, but not much effort to it. It's more like they just made it a flame. And I didn't have a problem with that, but truly, when it comes to Godzilla, it's got to be like a beam flame here. We're talking about a beam flame. and what we got this time was truly what was a Godzilla atomic heat ray. Truly, guys, this was a great film right here. And if I were to rank the MonsterVerses right now, I'd probably put it as maybe King of the Monsters first, Kong on Skull Island second, and then Godzilla 2014 as third. But for 1 and 2, that's still debatable to me, because when I look at both of these films, Kong on Skull Island and Godzilla King of the Monsters, there's some things about them that they just click to me and saying like maybe this one's better, or maybe this one's better, or maybe there's somewhere in between. But for right now, with what I've seen, because I'll have to re-look back on Kong Skull Island to know for certain. All I just know is that the movie was great to me. I know about the box office right now, and it does suck that it is like that, but it's not like it's saying it's bad. No, it's not bad. It's just it didn't make as much as it was hoping, but it didn't make any lower than they were expecting. Like, it's somewhere in the middle where it's not good, but it's not bad either. It's in between that, and that's good. That makes me still have hope for the future of the MonsterVerse, because what we got here, I like that they're doing a universe here for the MonsterVerse. I know it almost sounds like there doesn't look like there's any continuity to it, but come on, guys, when it comes to Godzilla franchise, there hasn't really been much continuity to it, other than the Heisei era, with a few other characters returning here and there as the same character, and not just like other characters, some characters out there who played this character in, let's say, the Showa era, like they played in Godzilla vs. Mothra as this character, and then they played as another character in, say, another movie, like maybe Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster. Now this one, we do have something like that, not like saying the main characters that were told to be the main cast, but we still have them, like Dr. Serizawa, the woman that was with him. We had that admiral who was with us and Godzilla 2014. He's the one who showed up in this film. And then, yeah, actually, I think that's all that was there. But with the confirmation that Mark Russell and Madison are also coming into the next film, there you go. There's some continuity for you. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. But definitely, guys, what more could we think will come for us for Godzilla, for the MonsterVerse franchise going forward? Because I really will admit that I hope that we could get some solo movies of, say, Rodan, King Ghidorah, maybe like how he came to Earth. I would definitely love to see that. That would be nice. Or let's say, like, let's get some other monsters from Toho over if we can. Like, if possibly Destroyer, by all means, let's get Destroyer. And hey, we've already did Pacific Rim, so there could be something there to show you that maybe we could have a Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover, or heck, maybe Mega Godzilla could show up in a sort of Pacific Rim way. In other words, like Pacific Rim style design, but he's still in the MonsterVerse franchise. That would definitely be something great to see. All I know is that I would love to know you guys' thoughts as we keep making our way into, first off, Godzilla vs. Kong, and what could we see going forward after that. I would really love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. And hey, if you're enjoying my videos here, please leave your likes and comments down below. And hey, if you're enjoying my videos, click that subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, I'm going to be having the rest of the day to do other stuff, and I'll see y'all again later. Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye!